What's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto. Today we are going to be talking about options expiries, we're going to be talking about head and shoulders patterns, and we're going to be talking about a bunch of different bills that are being proposed to the United States Congress that potentially could stop the IRS from taxing payments below $200, as well as some Trojan horse bills that might be trying to sneak some stuff in there and give the SEC a little bit more power. We got a lot to talk about today. Not only are we going to be talking about news, we're also going to be talking about on-chain, because over the last 7 days, we have seen even more whales buying into Bitcoin. We've seen some retail selling Bitcoin, and we've seen a lot of changes in the long-term holder ratio. Tens of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin are set to expire here on the options market in about an hour and a half at 11 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to be talking about what all of that means for the price of your favorite cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. I am joined, as always, by my illustrious co-host, T.A. Town.
What is up? I love my adjectives. I found out. I did my own research. That is an adjective.
DYOR.
So I was right.
DYOR.
I'm still not good at English, so I got to fix that.
That's okay. I'm not good at English either.
So, But it's good morning,
Good morning.
It's great.
Good morning. By the way, coming at you again looking like a youth pastor. I promise I'm not one, but, apparently I'm dressed like one. I just love this blazer. I bought this for the North American Bitcoin Conference. It's very comfortable. It's also cold in this room, so I came in a t-shirt. I'm like, I'm going to put this on. It's kind of cold. But I am joined, as always, also by Smay, who really knows how to rock the fashion world. How you doing, Smay?
Guys, I have to come to you guys humbly and say, I am wrong. I was wrong. I judged Solana too harshly. Tim has corrected me and told me that I was wrong. And I want to admit to you guys that I am wrong. And I'm wrong. In fact, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Solana is, in fact, wasn't hacked again. It was a different project.
The bridge.
It was the bridge.
The bridge.
So I'm sorry, guys. I judged it too harshly. Don't FUD out of your Solana investments. That was my bad.
To be fair, you did say it after drinking FUD.
In fact,
You did.
this bottle, it's gone now.
Oh, man.
No more FUD here. Anyways,
I just spilled all over the floor.
I'll clean it up afterwards.
Okay.
I'll clean it up afterwards. All right, guys. I'd like to shout out some members here. We have Elliot Locke, Leon the Dutch, Ricardo Vinegas. We have. Oh, that's about it so far that I'm seeing. Maybe I need to scroll up further. Crypto Alchemist. I love you guys. You guys are the best. I love all the members. TZ, Dennis Pizarka. You guys are the best. And you guys make me feel so much better knowing that I made a mistake and you guys still love me. So I thank you guys.
We have such an amazing team and a following and subscribers and members, and thank you guys so much. By the way, if you're enjoying today's show and you're going to enjoy today's show, smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 300 likes before we even get started here. I am joined, as always, by Kelly from New York. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing excellent, man. And like I say regularly, and it's always true, I'm just happy to be here. And some really exciting things, regardless of the somewhat boring price action. There's a lot of things that are sort of percolating under the surface right now, and it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to jumping into it to talk about today. And I'm still buzzing from last night. For many of you I know there's a lot of people in chat that were there. I do a weekly show on Twitter Spaces called Crypto Answered, and we had over 2,000 people in the room last night. We had the real Plan C.
Whoa.
We had Crypto Valerio. We had even Will Clemente was in there listening for about an hour. We had Jesse Olson, all great analysts and on-chain people. Also Blake. I'm just buzzing from that. That's actually the link to listen to it is on my Twitter. A lot of great stuff about on-chain technical analysis and where the market's going. I'm just excited to dive into it today and share what we're seeing and how we can take a plan of action.
There you go. That's awesome, Kelly. Good for you, man. I had no idea that had happened. Well, we're about to do our market rundown, but really quickly, I want to tell you what coins we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum as always. And then later on, around 10:27, we're going to be looking at HBAR, Link, and ADA. I know you guys love all three of those cryptocurrencies, and we're going to be making sure to do a deep dive on all of them as much as we possibly can. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into our market rundown. We're going to do a little bit of a snapshot and try and figure out what's going on in crypto. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is up 2.7%, and you flip that because Ethereum is up 7.2%. ETH sitting at $2,800. Bitcoin sitting at $3,800. And by the way, guys, the HODL trophy is up for grabs at is it 1030 or
1045?
1045. The make or break price, I forgot what it is. Is it?
It's 37,150.
That's what I thought. Okay, the make or break price for whether or not Tim wins is $37,150. Who is the race between right now?
Me, right?
It's me and Snake.
But so I'm in the lead though, right?
No,
No, you're in the lead.
we are above. We're at 37.6.
Yes.
Oof. All right, guys, you heard it. Dump the price. Dump your Bitcoin, guys. I'm kidding.
People
You know,
always,
can I make one comment about
Definitely
this as
can.
well? This is kind of interesting. When we're looking at we talk about with trend lines like our moving averages, like the 20 simple moving average, or even the 14 simple moving average. When we're above or below that price and finding rejection or support on it, it kind of determines what trend we're in. And I'm actually seeing a little bit of quite a bit of similarity with the options, with the puts and calls, where the max pain price is. And when you're consistently having price trade below where the max pain price is, it's also another clear indicator of where you're at in the market and what sort of trend you're in. So we definitely, of course, that max pain price, the majority of the pain is right around the 42K level. So it's going to be interesting once we can finally push through that sort of barrier in terms of the option traders and where they're seeing or placing their investments, or in this case, it's more like a bet on where the market's going to be going in the next month. And hopefully once we get above that, we can actually start seeing that shift in trend.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and do our market rundown. Then we'll show you the article over on Cointelegraph of what he's talking about. As you can see, Binance Coin up 3%, Cardano up 1.6%, Solana up 6.7%. Had some FUD coming in yesterday with the wormhole hack. Again, that was not Solana being hacked. That was a layer 2 built on top of it. It was a protocol on top of Solana that was undergoing some difficulties. XRP is up 2%, Polkadot up 3.9%, Terra up 1.3%, Dogecoin up 1.7%, Avalanche up 6%. Loving me some Avalanche. I love when it avalanches to the upside. Leo token up 20%, Juno up there as well, Kusama up 11%. And if we look at our losers, we got LooksRare down here. This has been a big one in the industry lately. Everybody's talking about LooksRare. Don't have time to go into it right now, but there's definitely a lot of interesting things going on here. Maker's down 2.5%, Tezos down 1.3%. Tezos, great project. But as you can see, the vast majority of the cryptocurrency space is actually in the green right now. I think what we've seen happen is a large portion of the market has undergone a large correction, and a lot of people are buying up these dips. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods yet. You can even see on Bitcoin that over the last 24 hours, we have had a little bit of a dip. In fact, just over the last few hours, we've had a little bit of a dip. We're going to talk about this more in a minute, but for right now anyway, the market seems to be attempting a resurgence. There is a little bit of bullish sentiment. Now, as he was talking about, there are some options that are going to be expiring, namely $730 million worth of them, and these will be expiring here in about an hour and a half. The thing you have to remember is that traditional stock markets only trade for certain days of the week and for certain hours of the day, but the cryptocurrency markets are 24/7 and they're global markets. So these are going to be expiring at 11 o'clock because of the way that because of the times that the traditional markets are open. So this is going to be expiring here relatively soon, here on the 4th, and you can see from this chart right here, depending on where Bitcoin is, more calls or puts are going to get, wrecked, and that's kind of what we're looking at here. Cointelegraph always does a great job of putting this right here. I love looking at this little breakdown. If Bitcoin closes, if these options close and Bitcoin's between 35,000 and 37,000, 950 calls and 4,210 puts, the net result is $120 million favoring the bear instrument. So basically, they would be getting the benefit here. Between 37,000 and 38,000, which is where we are right now, we're at 37,600, and we probably will be there here in about an hour. You're going to get 1,650 calls versus 3,300 puts. The net result favors bearish instruments by $60 million. So the bears are looking to win here, and the bulls are looking to not exactly win as much as you would like here. This is definitely going to have an impact on the price action of the market. We see it happen every single time, but this is one of those things that's probably only going to impact the market for a short time, depending on how exactly bad it is. But at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad, but it does look like the bears are definitely going to have a little bit of some wind put in their sails from those expiries. But let's go ahead and take a look here at the longer term Bitcoin price action. You can see I am a true analyst because my chart is an absolute mess. I'll go ahead and go to a cleaner chart here so I don't have to delete all of that.
We could show you my messy chart if you want.
Yeah, sure. Get 15 seconds. Let's see how let's see your messiest chart, Kelly. That'd be funny.
Messiest chart.
Messiest chart. Yeah, 15 seconds.
Let's get to this bad boy right here.
I can't even see it, but I'm assuming it's crazy.
I've seen crazier, Kelly. I've looked over your shoulder.
I genuinely.
Oh, this is actually the one. No.
There we go. Well,
yeah,
there we go. That went up. That we got some more.
Yeah,
movement right
this
there.
is my wild one. I tend not to share on stream because you have to read
The
through hieroglyphics to
best
understand
though
it.
is when Kelly splits it into 4 different ones.
Yes.
And has that happen on all 4 screens. That's when it really starts to get good.
Yes, and
There you go.
he looks like that again. He looks like that guy who's like, you know, all over the place and just kind of, he's got the little, you know, if you go on my Twitter, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, on Bitcoin here, we're going to go ahead and do some analysis. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get up to 500 likes on the stream. We're trying to bring you the highest quality educational and informational content as quickly as possible so that we're respectful of your time. So the 3 things I want you to keep in mind are these 3 trend lines on Bitcoin right here. Downtrending level of resistance, Bitcoin is under. Flat level of resistance, Bitcoin is under. Flat level of support, that Bitcoin is above. These 3 are playing a major role in the market right now. There's also 2 major head and shoulders patterns that you need to pay attention to. One, there's a head and shoulders pattern right here. You can see it has already played out. And we're currently in the process of following through on its price target. Its price target is down at $24,000 to $25,000. Now, we here at the Crypto Jebb team do not believe that we're going down to $25,000. I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I'm pretty sure that is our consensus. But I personally do believe that we are going to 30. And if we look down to the 4-hourly chart, you start to see why. On the 4-hourly chart, and in fact, we'll go to the hourly chart so we have a little bit more resolution. There is a head and shoulders pattern right here with a left shoulder there, right shoulder there, a head right here, and a right shoulder forming right now with this little dip that we have seen recently. This is a relatively ugly head and shoulders pattern, and believe me, I know all about ugly head and shoulders pattern because I looked in a mirror this morning. But this head and shoulders pattern, oh, come on.
That's not true.
Hey, I'm gonna go.
We don't do that
stop.
here.
Why not?
Wait,
We don't
wait, wait,
self-degradate.
I can't fish for
It's
compliments.
You're a good-looking guy, Jeb.
Aw.
No.
Thank you,
Hey, go. I turned it to full screen. We're pausing the TA. Say 3 nice things about
3
yourself.
nice things.
Into the camera.
I can't.
Do it right
I don't
now.
wanna
Do it.
Smay is
I will-
awesome.
I'm
Tim has a
holding the
great
stream
beard.
hostage. I'm not going down back to your screen until you say
Dang
it about
it.
yourself.
Dang it.
Do it.
What did he say?
3
in Evan
nice things
Almighty?
about yourself.
I'm attractive, successful, happy, and proud. I don't know.
No,
What?
something
That's 4.
original.
Something original.
Original.
Okay.
From the heart.
I am kind of good at TA, I guess.
Oh, stop it.
I have cool fans, and I have a great team.
You know what?
Let's
That
keep
was
that.
you complimenting 2 other entities and not yourself.
That's what I
So
was
you
going
better
for.
do
That's good
2
enough.
more.
We'll move on.
Okay,
We'll
we're gonna
work
move on.
it. Yeah.
We're gonna move on.
You know
We're
what?
keeping an eye on that.
He's holding the stream hostage. Anywho, head and shoulders pattern here has a price target of $33,000. That is the same level that Bitcoin went down to back here on January the 24th. That head and shoulders pattern does have a flat level of support, which is called the neckline. It's sitting at $36,300. It's also got a shoulder line sitting right here around, let's see, $38,200. So this head and shoulders pattern is indicating that we're going to break to the downside, and that actually lines up quite well with all of the other TA that we are doing. That is the fact that we have this rising trading channel that Bitcoin was in just a couple of days ago. We talked about how we're likely going to break bearish out of this and how we probably don't even have the momentum to go up to this downtrend right here. So we're probably going to break bearish out of this. That's exactly what happened. We've since broken bearish out of that rising trading channel, and now we're testing it and rejecting off of it. So not only do we have a head and shoulders pattern in play right now, we also are testing resistance right there, and we are likely going to see a push to the downside from there. Taking a look at the volume, we can back that up by saying, hey, look, the volume's really low, and we would like to see some more volume if we're going to break to the upside, but that just is not the case right now. And on top of that, Bitcoin has set a new lower high, as you can see right there, and a new lower low right there, as you can see. As well as that, we have turned previous support into current resistance. All of these things are telling me that we're about to see a break to the downside, but that's not all. Billy Mays here for some more TA. We can see if we turn on Lux Algo on the 4-hourly chart, I do believe we're starting to see some different kind of sell signals flash. Yes, so we do have a strong buy signal right now, but on 4-hour chart, we actually have a confirmed downtrend that is formed, and that comes into play from the fact that we have seen Lux Oscillator turn red. We have seen the trend catcher turn red right here, and we saw that there was a strong sell signal. So that tells us even on the 4-hourly chart, we have entered a new confirmed downtrend. Now you might be saying, but Jebb, there's a buy signal right there. Yes, but the way that we use Lux Algo is we use confirmations from the rest of the indicator package. We need to see a green Lux Oscillator, which we're starting to see, and we also need to see green trend catcher, which we have not seen. Unless you have all 3, you are not in a confirmed trend, at least using the strategy that I use on Lux Algo. So, Tim, I want to hear your take on this head and shoulders pattern narrative, the fact that we're turning previous support into current resistance. Where are we going? Is $33,000 coming soon?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of laid that one out. Honestly, I think the head and shoulders pattern is giving us the top end of where we're going. Normally, what we've seen over the last couple of months is inverse head and shoulders pattern, and head and shoulders patterns have kind of come to the smaller end of what they're predicting. But I think this is one it'll actually outdo. I do think that 33.5, which is the predictor at this point for it, is a little high in my opinion. I think that I think a high 32 to down to 30,000 is most likely. But I do think, as you pointed out, we're coming back up. We're hitting this level of previous support now using as resistance. Of course, we just did have that news that broke this morning, and I know we're going to talk about it here in just a little bit about the job reports coming out. I think that's giving it a nice boost right now, but I don't think it's going to be enough to prevent that downfall that we need to spark what we've talked about here for a couple of weeks, and I've been watching for, and people get a little bored with it, but it's all part of the process. We need to come down. We need to go below 35,000 and set a candle close below 35,000 on the daily chart, which will give us the bullish RSI divergence we need to then spark the movement on the price action back to the upside, get back into the 40s, sit there for a little bit, do our work, and then go up into the 50s and shoot towards an all-time high in the next couple of months.
There you go. So, guys, I'm also going to show you a couple of final things that I want to see. We're going to do some if-then statement predictions, and then I'm going to throw it to Kelly. He's going to throw it back, and then we're going to jump into some news and on-chain. Now, a few more things I want to show you is not only that there is this downtrend that Bitcoin is contending with, not only is there this uptrend that Bitcoin is contending with, at the same time, we have the Bollinger Bands coming into play. John Bollinger created the Bollinger Bands, I believe, back in the 80s. These have been around for a very long time. Very, very powerful indicator. Helps you to understand the volatility of the market, and it also uses a 20 daily simple moving average, or whatever the interval is, a 20 interval simple moving average that runs through the center. You can see that we're currently below the 20 interval simple moving average. What you need to know is that whenever you're in an uptrend, you're above this moving average, as you can see over here. Whenever you're in a downtrend, you're below it. Above it, you're in an uptrend. Below it, you're in a downtrend. Over the last 3 months, except for 4 or 5 days right here, we have been in a downtrend and we remain there. The question now is, can Bitcoin break above this 20 moving average, which moves through the center here? Because that would give us a little bit of momentum. Wouldn't give us much. It'd be like a little tiny push on the swing. It wouldn't just be like a shove. It'd be like a little push, but it might get us going. It might be what we need. If we're able to get above that 20 DSMA, then that might be what it takes to come up here and test this downtrend, and then we would have an opportunity to continue the uptrend. So, the two if-then statements. There's always a bullish and then a bearish one. If Bitcoin somehow finds the momentum to break the 20 daily simple moving average, then it may have the opportunity to break this uptrending level of resistance. If it does that, then we might have the ability to break this downtrending level of resistance. If it does that, then we might see a 3 daily chart Lux Algo bullish signal come into play. That would be very hard, though. So there's the if-then statement. If Bitcoin is able to break above the 20 DSMA, that could set in motion a set of dominoes that would start falling towards bullishness. However, if Bitcoin, and this is much more likely in my opinion, if Bitcoin fails to break above this trend line, which I'll just go ahead and draw it right there and then go down to a shorter term time frame so you can see it. If Bitcoin fails to break above this 20 daily simple moving average, then it is almost certainly going to follow through with this head and shoulders pattern and push down towards 33,000. Now, it might find support above 33,000. Maybe it doesn't go all the way there. In the same way that we have this longer term head and shoulders pattern that gives us a price target sitting down here at $25,000, we think we're going to follow through, but we're not going to go all the way to where the price target says. We might see something similar happen down here on the shorter term time frames. We do have a price target, as you can see right here, of roughly $33,000, but if we look at our VPVR, then maybe we're going to find support a little bit higher than that. If we look at the 4-hourly chart, we zoom out a little bit, there is some VPVR support that's a little bit higher than that. We have some at 37,000, then we have another little peak here at 35,000. We could hold those levels. But the point is, if we don't manage to get above that 20 DSMA on the Bollinger Bands, then we're likely going to have a movement to the downside. Kelly, I would love to hear your thoughts on the current market, my friend.
Absolutely. So first thing I want to do, actually, where is my screen? Boom. Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to pull up Lux Algo instead of Market Cipher today because I wanted to show something that's been popping out here that's been shifting. On the 8-hour chart here, you see we've got a buy signal and the trend catcher turned green. Now, this wouldn't be a confirmed buy yet because of the fact that even on this oscillator, we are still in a downward trajectory. It is starting to converge back towards the bullish side. If you see here, it is starting to roll over, but that it needs to fully flip before we can really call that. But if you even zoom down here on the 4-hour, you're not only having this actually just flipped back and forth a second ago, but this trend catcher was green. We are under a strong buy. This is just starting to flip. So on the Lux Algo side of things, we are starting to see a little bit of a shift in trend from where we've been through multiple time frames where although the market is still being a bit choppy and going a little bit up and down, there are still there are some growing trade winds behind Bitcoin on the bullish pressure. I think because there's quite a bit of exhaustion from the seller side, because I think it's something like 32 or 36% of all basically all the short-term holders have already let go and taken profits. So basically they've capitulated out, and the long-term holders, as you'll see in a few minutes when I jump into some on-chain stuff, are not selling. So it is showing a very bullish sentiment starting to grow and rise in this market. Now we're just waiting on Market Cipher for this VWAP to come up and the momentum to shift back to the upside. But on the daily, we are finally back under a green dot here with momentum coming back up, VWAP coming up, RSI coming up. The money flow is still quite deep. So we're still waiting to look for where this is going to go, and it would be something projecting somewhere in there. So it's going to take a while for the money flow to come back up unless we get some very, very, very strong movement out of where we're at right now. So that's what I'm seeing. Back to you, Jebb.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal, and I think you're right on track. I think we are seeing a lot of things that are coming into play. And actually, I want to shout out somebody in chat. Brant Moore just pointed out something that I had not seen, and this is one I have a teaching moment to. And here I have a little bit of an update to what I said just a second ago. Number one, the teaching moment is you got to make sure you look at the market from every single angle. One of the things I have not done in the last couple of days is I have not looked at the regular chart. I do my analysis on the logarithm chart, and I'll show you what that caused me to miss. If we look here on the logarithm chart and we draw this downtrend right there, then what that does is it tells us, okay, we are quite far away from this downtrend at the moment. This downtrend is sitting up here probably around $39,000 right now. However, the logarithm chart is only one perspective. There's actually two very important perspectives. And if you look at the linear chart by coming down here on TradingView and switching from log to linear, redrawing this trend line, we're actually in the process of testing it right now, and it lines up perfectly with that 20 daily simple moving average on the daily chart. This is actually really exciting, and I had not noticed this. Thank you so much for pointing that out. What that means is that instead of just breaking the 20 DSMA if we rally here, we'd actually be breaking this downtrend that's been in effect since November 10th. That does change things, because if we break that downtrend, that's going to be powerful, and a lot of people are going to buy on that signal. Now, they might long too early and get liquidated, but we probably would see a pretty large spike if Bitcoin manages to rally above $39,000 and close a daily candlestick up there. So just wanted to mention that. I am going to be paying very close attention to this trend line on the linear chart now, as well as the logarithm chart. So the teaching moment, make sure you're looking at the market from as many perspectives as possible, and also make sure you're paying attention to that trend line. Now, Kelly, I'm going to throw it back to you for some on-chain analysis, and we are going to look at some indicators for a crypto bull run coming soon.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into it. Here we go. So this is what I wanted to show you. This is from Will Clemente, who actually was in the Crypto Answer Twitter Spaces last night as well. Let's go ahead and allow that. But this is basically showing that we're basically the fourth most oversold in history of Bitcoin based on the dormancy flow. And that's basically dormancy flow is in relationship to how long coins have been sitting dormant, how long they've been held before they've been sold or traded. And we basically are so oversold right now based on this pressure. Zipping right through that, you can also see, we brought this metric up the other day, but with this downturn, you see this with this in May, when we came down, whales were selling off. Now we have this massive down trip. The whales are still stacking sats. There's even one whale that's, we brought it up the other day, but he's continuing to do it. He's buying almost on the every hour, every 2 hour, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin per day. He's stacked over $1 billion since August. So if these big money players are buying, they're not thinking it's going to be going down much further than this. And they tend to, I don't want to say coordinate, but people tend to run in similar circles, and they discuss their strategies and help to support each other. So if one whale is doing it, many whales are doing it. You can start to see that in this chart here. The last thing I'll show you here is this is a holder monthly net position change. And this is showing that we're still accumulating, and it's just the market is so underlyingly bullish that it is confusing as all measure to all on-chain analysts that we haven't had the price action that we want yet. And that's because we haven't got everybody to question if it should or shouldn't be bullish. We have to wait till we exhaust that mentality.
Yep.
We have to wait till we exhaust that sort of sentiment about,
true.
The bullish or bearish direction, especially bullish in this case, before we get that flip. And you can see that here as well. And this is what I was mentioning earlier. Addresses holding for less than 1 month have decreased by 32% since December 28th, meaning these short-term holders are almost a third of them have basically capitulated and sold off. So that's 30%. That's basically a third less sell pressure from short-term holders, while the long-term holders are still not selling. So we're getting a reduction in the sell pressure. And now all we're waiting on is a little bit of confidence with that reduction in sell pressure for it to roll over into actually having demand roll back in. Because that's the number one thing that was on topic last night in spaces with these on-chain analysts is everybody's so worried about the supply and how much a liquid supply there is, but none of us are really focused on, we have to start focusing on where the demand is and when the demand comes in, because the demand is what's going to determine when we get the next, not only bull run, but the next parabolic bull run, because that all comes from an exponential increase in demand.
Absolutely, Kelly. Well, really quickly, I want to break down one question that we just had in chat. Let's see, who was it? Justizan. I think I'm getting that right. You got
it's a hard job to read.
Justizan, it is.
It's a hard job.
But I will continue to mock you for it, Tim. It's okay.
I mean, I expect it. So.
It's just really funny because I can't pronounce anything either. So it's funny that I mock him for it. He says, or I don't want to assume. They say, how is this not a bear market? Please, Jebb, explain how we're not in a bear market. So you're gonna tie that question to everything Kelly just said. There's 4 factions you need to know about: retail in crypto, retail out of crypto, institutions in crypto, and institutions outside of crypto. The retail in crypto, as Kelly just showed you, they're not buying. In fact, they're selling. Whenever people tell you to be a contrarian and go against what the market is doing, that's what they're talking about. You don't want to follow the retail trader in Bitcoin because they get FUDed out of the space. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They get FUDed out of the space and sell whenever things get hard, whenever we're in a downtrend for 2.5 months. So you don't really want to follow the retail. What's the retail? Generally speaking, retail is defined as investors that have less than $100,000 to $500,000 invested in the cryptocurrency space. That's, that's most of the people on crypto YouTube would fall into the category of retail. But then on the other side, you have the whales and the institutions inside of crypto. The whales and the institutions inside of crypto, as Kelly just showed, are buying Bitcoin in droves. You want to listen to these people. Do you want to listen to someone who has, been divorced 3 times on what, and you'll see where I'm going with this. Do you want to listen to someone who's been divorced 3 times and they're single right now because they got divorced? Do you want to take their advice on how to have a healthy marriage? Or do you want to go to somebody who's been married for 35 years and they love their wife, they love their husband deeply, their relationship is stronger than ever? No. You want to go to the person that has experience and has moral authority on how to succeed in the area that you're asking for advice in. So in the same way, do you want to go to the retail and say, hey, retail, you've been here for 3 months. You are down 75%. You're not making a lot of money in crypto. You're scared of the market. Do you want to go and ask that person who's new to the market and still learning about how to trade in Bitcoin? Or do you want to go to the whales who have made billions of dollars working in the cryptocurrency market over the last 10 years and ask them how to make money in crypto? You want to ask the guy who's gone to the major leagues how to play baseball, not the 5-year-old who is playing t-ball right now. You want to ask the experts. That's why it's so important that we look at on-chain and we look at the whales are doing. So the 4-point matrix, number 1, the retail investors in crypto are scared and they're selling. The retail whales in crypto are, the whales and the institutions in crypto are buying in droves. Now, we also have the other side, which are the people not in crypto. So we have the retail not in crypto. That's your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, everybody who's not in crypto. They've heard of Bitcoin. Maybe they even have a Coinbase account, but they're not in the space like this. They're not going to tune into a live stream like this. This just isn't their cup of tea. They don't care right now because Bitcoin's down 50% in the last 2.5 months. They're scared of it. They're going on with their lives, so they're not buying. So we already have 2 factions not buying. The retail in crypto, the retail out of crypto are not buying. In fact, they're selling. And then you have the institutions outside of crypto that are not buying. And the reason they're not buying is because they don't want to upset their base, the brokerages like a TD Ameritrade or a Fidelity. They don't want to go invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency with their clients' money because their clients say, hey, look, the entire geopolitical landscape right now has a lot of fear in it. So I want to have a very low risk investment profile right now. So what happens is the brokerages go and they offload all their Bitcoin and then they put their money into something safer, like, literally anything on the stock market except Facebook. Ooh, I went there. I'm sorry. That was a big news story that we didn't get to cover. Facebook got absolutely wrecked. So we have 4 factions: retail in, retail out, institution in, institution out. Only one of them is buying right now, the whales that are in Bitcoin and crypto. But guess what? Who should we go to? Whose opinion matters the most? The whales inside of crypto, because they're the ones that understand it and they are buying Bitcoin. So are we in a bear market? No, because if we were not in a bear market, the whales and the institutions inside of crypto would not be buying. They'd be selling and they'd be looking at other industries. But because they are, we can be confident that we're still in a bull market. We're just in a major correction. Kelly.
Yeah, I wanted to add on that, and I don't, not necessarily correct, but focus it a bit. It's not only, this is the crazy part, it's not only the whales that are buying right now. It's basically the large majority, like over 85% of all the buying pressure right now is coming from medium and long-term holders. And that's people with one Bitcoin all the way up to whale, 1,000+ Bitcoin. The only people that are selling right now by a large majority, basically almost an entirety, is the very short-term holders. This is people with the Bitcoin less than a month, or even more, extend that a little further, less than 155 days. And in that case, even in the last month and a half, only 30% of those short-term holders are selling. So even the retail, there's still a portion of the short-term holders that's holding. We're getting increase in wallet addresses. We're not getting a decrease in network activity. We have high hash rate. Are we? And but based on specifically price action, are we in a bear market? Well, if we look at from November to now, yes. But if we're looking at the macro trend, especially as it pertains to a multi-year cycle, we are still in just a midterm correction of the grander scale. So it's all determinant on that. And by the matrix you just set up and explained is perfect. We are still in a bull market. The majority of people are not capitulating.
Yep, and I think that is very, very important. So, Kelly, I'm actually going to throw it right back to you because I want to hear, are there any stories that you see that are really standing out that can give us a deeper lens on what's going on in crypto?
There just may be. We actually had a wonderful report that came out this morning right before we went on stream. I think they reported at 8:30, and that is this right here. Is this the right? Is this correct screen? Yeah. Okay. I got so many screens up. It's hard sometimes to figure out which screen I'm sharing. So we got a very, very bullish jobs report here in the U.S. that came out this morning for January. Nearly 500,000 jobs added in January, which was much stronger than a very, very lackluster December and a few months before that. So why is this important? Well, we'll discuss that in a second. I want to jump through the headlines here so we can get right into the discussion. The next thing I want to talk about here is the SEC introducing what some people are considering a Trojan horse for crypto regulation. And the way that this bill is written and discussed isn't actually directly specified towards crypto, and that's why they're calling it a Trojan horse. But the way the wording is written into this, I forget the gentleman's name, but Pierce, not Brock Pierce, it's a different Pierce, Commissioner Pierce. Basically, he's discussing how the way the language is in this bill looks like it's actually going to be used by this crypto adversary, Chairman Gensler here, to basically target crypto exchanges and DeFi protocols because of the way that this language is written in this. So hopefully this gets shaped up a bit and adjusted. But this all goes back to our participation in not only buying crypto, but we talked about it yesterday, paying your taxes and doing it honestly. Because when the government starts to see how much tax revenue they're getting from crypto, they're not going to shut down a revenue source. So you're actually being very pro Bitcoin and pro crypto by paying your taxes on it and not, I mean, you can find the loopholes that are legal, but pay your taxes, get this profit center built into the psyche of the government. They'll stop trying to persecute it so heavily. Now, in contention with this, on a more bullish note, there's a U.S. bill that they're trying to reintroduce to basically prevent the IRS from taxing crypto transactions under $200. Now, this is massive. This is huge. This could be anything from gas fees on buying an NFT to even sending. So say I send a $50 or $100 gift to somebody in crypto for a niece or a nephew or a family member, or buying something, or any of these small transactions. You know, when you're getting persecuted for basically being nickel and dime, that's a huge barrier to adoption. And so if this were to go through, it'd be very, very positive. That's basically the stories I had now, but I wanted to throw this back to you, Jebb. And what's your thoughts on how this is relevant? How is this 467,000 jobs in the traditional market, in the traditional space around the U.S.? How is this relevant to crypto? What sort of impact do you think this is going to have? And do you think it's going to change the stance of the Fed come March when they talk about interest rate hikes?
Well, there's two major things you need to keep in mind. Number one, any report that says the economy is doing well that comes from the government needs to be taken with a grain of salt right now, because the government wants the economy to look better than it is. The thing you have to realize is that there is a massive jobs crisis in this country right now. I don't remember the exact numbers, so don't quote me on these exact numbers, but there's something like 12 million job openings and about 6 million job applicants right now. And a lot of those job applicants are trying to find jobs that there are not actually open positions for right now. So there's a lot of people that are still looking for jobs. So yes, 467,000 jobs added is great. The sad thing is a lot of those jobs are jobs that disappeared in the last 2 years that are coming back. So it's not really like we're seeing a lot of growth. It's more like we're seeing a little bit of recovery. So that's the first thing I want to say there. When the CPI numbers come out and job reports come out, the government, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is what I'm trying to think of. They want the economy to look like it's doing really well because the government wants everything to look great because all the politicians that are in power right now want to get reelected. And by the way, I'm not blaming the entire economic fallout of the last 2 years on our politicians. There was a global crisis that took place in 2020. I get that that's going to have an impact on the economy no matter what happens. My point is politicians don't want egg on their face, so they're going to say, yeah, okay, we got 467,000 new jobs, and they're going to brag about it even though we've lost, you know, millions of them and we're still trying to recuperate. The economy is not in a great spot right now, no matter what the job report said. With that said, it is getting better. And the reason that that is important is because as the job market does get better, that gives more stability and that gives more security to different people in the retail space so that they will be more inclined to go in and invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. If you are living and you've got a $2,000 a month income and you've got maybe $1,500 in the bank account and rent's $1,100 and you're trying to pay those bills, you don't have money to invest in cryptocurrency, you scoff at the idea of putting money in anything other than bare necessities. And a lot of people are living like that right now, and that's really sad. The good news is crypto is the avenue, the most powerful avenue that we have ever witnessed to find financial sovereignty. That means freedom from control of government institutions that have control over your finances, and also freedom from poverty and not having the money that you need to be able to successfully pursue your purpose. Crypto gives you that ability, but to get invested in crypto and to really get started in crypto, most people need to have a small sense of security because they see crypto as a very daunting industry. For them to do that, they need to have jobs. They need to feel, okay, I have some income, I have some disposable income that I can invest in Bitcoin. And after they're in Bitcoin, they'll realize, okay, wait a second, you know, instead of spending $100 a month on Starbucks, I'm gonna spend $100 a month on Bitcoin. But they've got to get over that initial hurdle of thinking, I'm going to lose all my money in crypto, and it's down 50% right now. So the fact that more people are going back to work, the economy starting to continuing to move forward, is a very good thing because it's giving stability to the retail investor in the traditional space, not in the crypto space, in the crypto space too, but specifically in the traditional space, and that's going to help those people to be more inclined to go and buy Bitcoin, which is very, very, very important. Tim, what are your thoughts on these job numbers?
Listen. I'm not a political expert.
By the way, I got to interrupt you, Tim. I will come right back to you. We are having a breakout right now. I have a feeling that's why Kelly said, ooh, so let me go ahead and look at that.
We're at 38.5. I'm watching us.
It is
we just pushed just above the 20-day.
Man, this is a horse race. Who's in the lead now for the HODL trophy?
Dang it.
Me squarely. So the next point to look at would be 39.6 to become a Tim and Jebb battle.
Woohoo!
So we need a $1,000 pump.
Okay, we can do it, guys. Go buy Bitcoin. I want the HODL trophy. Okay, I'm going to break down this TA for just a second. We're going to go off schedule a little bit, and then we're going to throw it back to Tim. And we're going to keep you guys posted on what's going on here. As we talked about earlier, there's this flat, downtrending level of resistance on the linear chart. That downtrending level of resistance is currently being tested with quite a bit of exuberance and enthusiasm. Bitcoin has set a low at 36,300. It's up 6% in the last 16 hours. And if it does manage to break this downtrend, which it is currently testing right now, if it does manage to break that downtrend, then you could see a short squeeze and you could see a pump to $42,000 very, very quickly. Now, that is an if-then statement. As with all predictions that we make, that is a if we are able to break up here, then we may see a short squeeze. Then because of that, we may push to $42,000. We will keep you posted, but for right now, we're sitting on the cusp of a breakout, but it hasn't happened yet. So, Tim, take it away.
The exact number, just so you know, for that HODL trophy, it needs to get above 39,649. If it gets above there, Jebb, you
39,649?
39,649.
What is your prediction again?
39.3.
Oh, heck, wow. It's not even close.
Can I share something which I find quite interesting that's showing up on my chart, which is it's just kind of funny.
Go for it.
This is why trend lines are so important. So look, if I zoom out here, you can see these trend lines that are this one coming from the previous all-time high at 64,000, coming down these peaks, and we're finding support and resistance on it. And this is a major trend line going way back. And it's just interesting. If we zoom in here and we put it on auto, look at this where the price is. It's literally, it came
right
down
there.
and actually retested this support here, and now it's sitting there fighting this other major. So this is a very, very highly contended spot, because it's not only this major trend line. We're fighting with that 20-day SMA and this downward trend line that's coming right here. So this will be, this is when sometimes when you're talking about breakouts, if you're breaking out of a very small trend line from one support or resistance, it's not super important. But when you have multiple major trend lines along with support and resistance, along with this other downward trend, this would be big news to break through this and either flip it or continue upward, because it's showing that there is strength and momentum and consensus within the market that this price is not the right price. We need to break this sort of mentality. So I'll be keeping my eye deeply on this, and I'm really excited to see it. And at the end of the day, if it gets rejected, it's more likely that it'll get rejected because there's so much resistance. But if it does get rejected, we still have all the supports we talked about, and we'll still be going down to this target area that we've been talking about for days. So either way is okay.
Yep.
Just take a breath. Let's watch it play.
So here, either way, it's okay. Just take a breath and watch it play. I love that. I'm going to use that. That's good, Kelly. Kelly is a musician in his former life and is a. But by the way, you know what's really cool? All three of these fine gentlemen have angelic voices. I am surrounded by people that have amazing singing voices. Kelly was a traveling musician for many years, so it makes sense that you come up with stuff like that. Take a look at my chart. What's happening over the last 10 minutes is that we have a lot of volume coming in. Bitcoin is attempting even right now to break that downtrending level of resistance. Here's what's going on with liquidations. If we look over on the liquidations over on CoinGlass.com, I'm going to refresh, even though I brought this up a minute ago because things are changing. If we look on the last 5 minutes, we have seen, okay, just all my liquidation data just disappeared. Are you not going to show? It literally just showed that we had $9 million worth of liquidations in the span of like a minute. Okay, in the span of 1 minute at 10:09, we saw $4 million in short liquidations. In the minute of 10:06, we saw $1.8 million. If we look at 5 minutes here, we should be able to see all of these, but it's not showing for some reason. But the fact is, okay, here we go, $9.34 million in shorts getting liquidated. So we are currently seeing people that are in short positions getting liquidated. So we're seeing a very small short squeeze. That's what we're seeing right now. If we manage to break up to about $39,000, I would say, then the dominoes are going to fall, because there is a lot of money locked up in shorts right now. Namely, over here on CoinGlass, you can see there are $18.59 million worth of locked up shorts right now, and the market is 56% short versus 44% long. If we see a push to the upside like we're seeing right now, we will see a short squeeze. Here's the concern that I have. If we push up to $39,000 and if a major whale or some bears come in and start selling, then everybody might go long because the market looks so bullish right now, and then we might see a long squeeze that pushes us right back to the downside, and we could see what is known as a Bart Simpson pattern. Now, a Bart Simpson pattern basically looks like Bart Simpson's head. You rally, you trade sideways for a little bit, and you got like a squiggly head like he does, and then boom, you crash. We very well could see that occur right now. So I just want you to be on the fence of this. Don't get too excited that Bitcoin's rallying. Okay, it's above the downtrend. Yes, it is above that downtrend that we drew earlier, but we really need to give this some time to confirm itself. Remember what I said, and it has not changed. Before I say that Bitcoin is confidently in an uptrend on the daily chart, I want to see a multitude of things. Number one, I want to see a bullish Lux Algo flash coming in on the daily chart, and I want to see that hold for 7 to 14 days. Not 1 or 2 minutes, 7 to 14 days. Excuse me, I said 7 to 10 days. I want to see it for 7 to 10 days. Reason being, it takes a little bit of time to confirm these things. On top of that, we also want to see out on the 3 daily chart, we want to see a bullish MACD cross, which is incoming. That's great, but we need to see that happen. We also want to see Bitcoin breaking the 14 interval moving average on the RSI on the 3 daily chart. That's happening right now. So we're moving in the right direction. Bitcoin looks well positioned, but I just warn you, and I've seen this happen so many times. Yes, Bitcoin looks bullish right now, but don't get ahead of yourself. It has been rallying for 8 minutes. Give it some time. Tim, do you have any thoughts on that?
I have a thought. Smee, I know you threw the other bottle away. Did you have any extra on?
Yeah, do you have any extra FUD on you?
Yeah, actually.
Can I have some?
I kind of fake through it, so here.
All right, let me have that real quick.
Yeah. How does it taste?
Here, I've got
When you're looking at small time frames, in case anyone's wondering, that was Smee's old stack of FUD that I just decided to drink. If you're looking at small time frames, this looks impressive. There is not a lot of volume. There's a lot of volume compared to maybe 10 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. but the volume is not there. This is a little pump, but there's nothing yet screaming anything significant that this is the it thing. So if anyone is out there thinking this is it, we're going back up to 69,000 and no, this isn't it.
Hold your horses.
There's still such a long way we have to go to set us up to not be putting ourselves in bearish divergence and to not set us up to where, again, what's happening right now is hope gets sprung back in the market. And guess what the whales are doing? Guess what the institution or the composite man is waiting for? They're waiting for the retail investors to say, oh, no, this is it, guys. Go get in right now. Yep. And then they fake you out. They sell. The price is still going down. The title of this stream was not meant to say, guys, by the end of the stream, the price is going down. The title of the stream is, we are seeing the charts on the longer time frames, and it is pointing us back down to 33, if not lower.
Yep.
Nothing has changed. And I'm sorry that people don't like to drink that FUD bottle, but sometimes FUD isn't just FUD. Sometimes FUD is actually true.
Yeah, so guys, I actually have a bottle right here, and it's not FUD or FOMO.
Yeah, don't FOMO.
It's realism. And the realistic perspective right now is that, yes, Bitcoin is breaking out. Yes, it actually does have seemingly a lot of volume on the 1 minute chart. As Tim said, it hasn't proven itself. Yeah, we're at $38,800. Here's the deal, guys. I'm not saying that we can't break out. If we are going to break out and start moving up towards 42,000, this is exactly what it would look like. This is exactly what it would look like. This is a perfect setup. All we're saying is wait for confirmation. We're not saying that it's not going to break out. We're just saying wait for confirmation. We're saying be realistic. We're saying don't FUD and say, oh my gosh, it's breaking out. It's going to get long squeezed and then it's going to crash down to $30,000. We're saying don't do that. But we're also saying don't FOMO and say, oh man, we've been rallying for 12 and a half minutes, so we're going to go back to all-time high. What I'm telling you is watch this market for at least 3 days before you make any long-term trades. Give it time. Just because it's having a breakout right now, just because, $15 million in shorts are getting liquidated, doesn't mean jack. It needs to you need to let it take some more time. There's always going to be volatility in the market. Is it looking great? Yes, it's looking great right now. But give it time. Let it confirm. We are not saying that this rally is going to fail. I want to be crystal clear on that. I'm not saying that anyway. What I am saying is that if it's going to succeed, and if we're going to succeed, we need to let it confirm itself.
I just would like to say real quick, you guys should probably write your own material instead of stealing my joke.
Hey, well, I had an actual drink.
Yeah, and I think you guys need to write your own material.
I had an actual drink.
All right,
so
all right.
Get over it, Smay.
Yeah,
you're over here playing like Mr. Mime, like doing that.
Listen,
get an actual drink.
Listen.
Get on this, man.
I want to go back. I want to go back though, because I was gonna give my take on
39K.
the news. The news, though, and it's correlated. I think this little pump right now is correlated to this news, but I do want to preface by starting out. Listen, by no means am I a political expert or genius or anything, but I don't think it takes a genius or an expert to surmise what I'm about to say. Jebb started that train with the concept of no politician wants to be held responsible for all the doom and gloom. They want stories to come out that make them look good. What are we on the precipice of right now? Right now, we didn't get the Fed news we really wanted. Was it crazy bearish? No, but it wasn't necessarily great either. It makes the current politician group look bad. Then we have this whole thing happening with Russia and Ukraine. That doesn't look good on them either. They're looking for a breath of fresh air. So is it really outrageous to say that maybe these numbers are a little skewed? No, it's not at all. They're looking for something to say, hey, we're actually doing a good job. Here's the problem. This story being posted like this will catch a lot of people's eyeballs and be like, oh, look, everything's okay. It's time to buy. But those who are actually watching all the little details, and I think a lot of you guys are in this camp, this is not what everyone wants it to be. This is a pump. This is a fake out. There's nothing that's changed. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. I don't know why so many people waited. Like, it is, we have to be aware of it. But I'm a little confused as to why so many people were waiting on the breaking news of the job data to make a decision on what they want to do with crypto, because I don't think, even though it is correlated, it has been correlated, I don't think it should be, because I don't know if we could take any of that information seriously in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the facts of the case, guys. We are also seeing quite a bit more shorts coming in now. We've got $20 million worth of shorts liquidated, sitting at $39,300. Here are some of the if-then statements that are in play right now. Well, this isn't an if-then statement. This is just a fact because it just happened. We just saw a strong buy signal come in on Lux Algo on the 4-hourly chart. Now we have seen green trend catcher. Where this 4-hourly candlestick closes is going to be remarkably important. If we close where I'm about to tell you we might close here in 41 minutes from when I'm speaking, then we are actually, in my opinion, in a pretty solid place. We are taking the first steps towards a bigger uptrend. It doesn't mean it's happened, but it does mean that we're taking the first steps. Here's the deal. 20 minutes ago, Bitcoin was setting a lower high below the high that we set here on the 1st of February at $38,800. Right now, if Bitcoin manages to close above $38,800, which is at $39,400 right now, then we are going to see that we have set a higher high on the 4-hourly chart. That would be phenomenal. That would also lock in the fact that we have a bullish Lux Algo down here on the 4-hourly chart. That would mean 4-hourly chart is once again bullish. That would be the first step towards breaking this long-term downtrending level of resistance. The reason that's so significant, that realism was kicking up. The reason that that's so significant is because when we've been down 46% for the last 84 days, we have not once managed to break this downtrend. But if we manage to break it, that would give hope to the bulls, and that would allow a lot of people to start longing. Now, again, nothing's confirmed. I want to see 3, 5, 7, 10 days before I really start saying we're out of the woods, but this is a good sign. This is something that we're very excited about. If we look down here on the minute chart, you can see we've pushed quite a bit, and we are seeing a decent amount of volume. Not great, but it's getting there. You can even see out here in the hourly chart that volume's starting to pick up pretty big time, and this hourly chart candlestick is only 20 minutes old, so we may be about to see one of the largest green volume candle bars here on Bitcoin over US dollar on Bitstamp that we have seen in a very long time. On top of that, I'm keeping you guys up to date on this liquidation data right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this liquidation data. We're currently looking at, over the last 30 minutes, $32 million worth of longs. So just since I started this little phrase in the last 2 minutes, we've seen another $10 million worth of shorts getting liquidated, and Bitcoin is pumping hard. This is what I talked about. You can go back on the stream 20 minutes ago when we started moving to the upside. I said, if we break this downtrending level of resistance, there's a lot of shorts up there that could get liquidated, that could cause a short squeeze and could continue to rally us to the upside. Another thing that I will mention is that this is the largest green hourly chart candlestick that we have seen in quite some time. That is not to be ignored, guys. We have, however, seen it happen recently, and it didn't mean anything. We saw a massive green movement back over here on January the 24th. We rallied 13% in 9 hours, and that was not something that we were able to sustain a rally and start a major new uptrend with. The fact is we're moving to the upside. So here's the deal. I want to teach you 2 things really quickly, and then we're going to move on and we're going to talk to the community. Whenever Bitcoin is in a breakout like this, wait for confirmation. That's the first thing I'm going to give you. That's a quick crypto tip that I want to give you. And by the way, I'm doing shorts on YouTube every day called Quick Crypto Tips, so make sure you tune in for those. Here's a quick crypto tip for you. Whenever Bitcoin has a breakout, give it time, wait for confirmation. Whenever you feel like you want to buy, just give it another 50% of the time. So if you've been watching and you've been saying for an hour, I want to buy, give it another 30 minutes, maybe give it another hour. If you've been sitting there for a day and you're trying to do a long trade on the longer term time frames, give it another day. Just wait a little bit longer for confirmation. Just wait a little bit longer. See if that's going to happen, because you might miss out on 2 or 3% gains, but you're going to drop your risk by 20 or 30% just because you wait a little bit longer for confirmation. And number 2, the second thing I want to teach you is how to make money in a downtrend. A lot of people have confusion around how should I dollar cost average? How should I buy the bottom? Should I wait for a major uptrend to start? Well, here's the deal. If you're dollar cost averaging, it's actually a very good idea to dollar cost average in a downtrend, because as you buy here and 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 here, what happens? Your average entry price gets dragged down. So it's a good idea to dollar cost average into a downtrend, and it is a good idea to wait a little bit longer for confirmation than you would have thought to do otherwise. By the way, guys, today's show is brought to you by Lux Algo, which is the technical indicator that I have been using for the last 8 months every single day. It is an indicator that I'm watching like a hawk right now, because on the daily chart, if we do rally up to $42,000, it's probably going to give us a buy signal for the first time since back over here, and this was an invalid buy signal because we were already in an uptrend. The last valid buy signal we saw out of Lux Algo was on October the 4th on the daily chart, and as you can see, that led to a 55% uptrend. Before that, the last time we saw a buy signal on Lux Algo was right here on July 25th. That led to a 52% uptrend. This is a ridiculously, remarkably powerful technical indicator that gives me a lot of confidence as to what trend we are in. It's the reason that I have not said we're in an uptrend on the daily chart yet is because Lux Algo has not flashed. If you don't have Lux Algo, you're missing out. I have found no better indicator that helps me to understand whether or not Bitcoin is in an uptrend or a downtrend. And by the way, we just saw a buy signal print on the daily chart and disappear. I don't know if you saw that, Tim. Did you see that happen?
It hasn't disappeared on me. I need to
It just
update.
showed up.
Oh, nope, it just disappeared on me.
So here's what's going on. Literally, Lux Algo right now is flashing and then removing buy signals. If we manage to close a daily chart candlestick up close to $40,000, we will see a buy signal on Lux Algo for the first time since October the 4th. Now again, this one is invalidated because it's just an extension of this one, so ignore this right here and ignore this. Neither one of those were confirmed based on our strategy, but if we do see a buy signal right there, that would give us the indication that we're about to go into a major uptrend. You can even see in history, here's a buy signal, rallied 57%. Here's a buy signal, rallied 24%. It's a remarkably powerful indicator, and I've been watching it closely. You can sign up with the coupon code Jebb, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout. Now, we're going to go ahead and throw it to the chat and the community. We've got some super chats. I know we have some questions and comments, so let's go ahead and do it. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get to 1,000 likes here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, I want to keep my eyes on chat too because I want to make sure we answer as much
Von
as possible.
Lasky said, scared money don't make no money. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely right. JB's Entertainment said, my favorite argument in Bitcoin standard is that the Federal Reserve will buy Bitcoin because that is the only way they can insure themselves against it. Could the Fed be a potential buyer soon?
Yes and no. Could they be a potential buyer? Absolutely. I think they will buy Bitcoin at some point. Will they do it in the next 5 to 10 years? Probably not. In the future, that very well may happen. But right now, no. That would be very, very surprising to us.
I kind of disagree with you there. I think it's what's most likely to happen is that they will buy. I know they already have, I forget what the number is. It's a kind of a ridiculous number of what they've already taken from confiscations from different legal things that they've done. But I do believe that they will start doing purchases a year or more before they let anybody know that they're buying, because they're going to want to, the second the news comes out that the U.S. government has basically bought Bitcoin, that's going to be as big or bigger than if Amazon implemented it tomorrow, So I think they're going to be very careful. I think they're going to be front running the news about it for sure. And I think we won't know that they bought it until probably 3 to 5 years after they've already been accumulating.
You think so, really? What do you think about that, Tim?
Sorry, I was typing something in chat. What specifically? That they're going to be buying it soon?
Can you repeat it? Because I was
I know they were talking about buying it soon. I don't know. So there's a lot of potentials with it. There's a lot of potentials because we don't know what's going to be happening. Also, with the Fed news buying it, or sorry, I say news. There's no news. With the Fed buying it, when would we actually find out that they bought it? They're not going to come out and be honest and tell people they just bought Bitcoin. Yeah, I think it's going to be months before we'd actually know if that was true or not. So I'm not necessarily going to use a lot of my time worrying about that right now because, again, we would never be able to confirm it or deny it for a long time. Sources could come out. People could say, I heard it, but that's not necessarily true. So until they would be forced to make it clear, by the way, that's a question. Does the Fed have to report what they buy and what they don't buy in stocks or in assets?
I'm not sure. They normally report everything because they do bond purchases and bond buying and everything. I'm pretty sure they normally report that stuff, but I'm not sure if they would be required to report that. You would think they would be, and if not, they should be.
There's another question of, do they always do what they're required to do?
Yeah, for real.
So again, that's
they come up with their own rules, and exactly. I'm sure, like even though it might be illegal to do it under this account, or they have other black ops things in different. But that's all irrelevant. At the end of the day. Right now, we're in anybody that's right here right now on this channel watching. First of all, thank you for joining us, and especially people that watch on a daily basis. Definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe. But you're so far ahead of the 98% of the world. So I'm not really worried about if and when large institutions or governments will buy, because it's sort of a given that it will happen over the next 10 to 15 years. So all we can do is get ourselves set up to be in the best position ahead of when that happens.
Yeah. So here's the thing I want to show you guys on the chart, and then we're going to jump onto Ethereum pretty quickly because ETH is rallying on this rally as well with Bitcoin. As you can see on the daily chart, we now have a buy signal. Now, buy signals on every single indicator do not close until the candle closes. So that's true with RSI, that's true with MACD, that's true with moving averages, that's true with oscillators, that's true with everything. So this buy signal is not confirmed yet because the daily candlestick is not closed. But when the daily candlestick does close, if this buy signal is still here, that is a huge Huge deal. Now, it's not a confirmed buy signal because remember, the strategy on Lux Algo is using the trend catcher, which is this line, and seeing that turn green, and Lux Oscillator turning green. Now, Lux Oscillator right now is green. If we see the buy signal, then all we need to see a confirmed buy signal on daily chart is trend catcher green. That is a very enticing idea, but we're not there yet. Again, and you see it just disappeared because Bitcoin's down a little bit. Now we don't have a buy signal. That's my point. You need to wait, and now it's back. You need to wait and see what Bitcoin's going to do. But the other thing to keep in mind, guys, is that the liquidation are really starting to pile up. We've seen $40 million worth of liquidations in the last 28 minutes. That sounds like a lot, but truth be told, if you look out here on the daily chart, it doesn't even really register. It's pretty common for there to be $100 million worth of liquidations on shorts every single day. So don't put too much stock in that just yet, but we are seeing some liquidations, a little bit more than we've seen in the last week or two, which is pretty solid. We're currently sitting on the minute chart, and again, I don't really like doing TA on the minute chart, but I will just because that's kind of what you guys want right now. We're in a bull flag right now. This bull flag looks like this. And if Bitcoin, if the whales and the retail come in and they start getting really excited and they pump this up to 40K, we could see a hype rally all the way up to $42,000, which would start to really solidify the idea of a longer-term trend. We've been talking about how the on-chain metrics are ridiculously bullish for weeks now. We've been talking about how, hey, look, guys, we might go down to 33, but to be honest with you, we ain't going to stay down there long because it's so freaking bullish in this market. So yeah, we said, hey, look, if Bitcoin does not break 38,400, then we're going to 33. But we also said if Bitcoin does break 38,400 with confidence, then we're going to 42. That's what we talked about. That's what's happening right now. That second scenario is playing out. We always come at you and tell you there are two scenarios. There's a bullish and a bearish. If this occurs, then the bullish scenario will happen. If this occurs, then the bearish scenario will occur. We talked about how if we break, 38.5 to 3,900 or 39,000 or so, then we would start to see this occur. Over the next 20 minutes, as we're still going to be live for the next 20 minutes, we are going to watch and see if we break bullish right here. But let's go ahead and jump onto Ethereum here, take a look at it, because Ethereum is up quite substantially as well. Ever since 9 o'clock this morning, Ethereum has rallied $138, excuse me, 5%. It has been rallying quite substantially over here on Bitcoin as well. And I want to see, I believe we can look at ETH liquidations right here and take a look and see if there's any kind of major ETH liquidations going on. There's a little bit, not a whole lot. Ethereum has not had massive liquidations, but it is seeing a little bit come in, about $15 million worth of liquidations right there. So that's not too bad. That's actually on Bitcoin. I'm not sure why it's showing me that. I believe there's a way to do that, but I don't think I can find it really quickly. The point is here that we're seeing a lot of value flow into Ethereum. A lot of people are buying Ethereum, and it's rallying pretty well. Let's take a look at the volume. Volume's actually doing really well on the minute chart. I don't like doing analysis on the minute chart, but at the moment, that's what we got to work with because this is such a short-term time frame. The volume has come in quite substantially, and that is starting to pick up on larger-term time frames. We see a little bit of volume here on the hourly chart. Nothing to write home about, nothing to be excited about yet, but it is there. On Ethereum, we can also see that there's this uptrending level of resistance right here that is currently testing in the same way that there is a very important trend line on Bitcoin that Bitcoin is respecting. There's also a very important trend line on Ethereum that Ethereum is respecting, and it's right here. This trend line is constituted by this high right here on the 27th of December, this high right here on the 4th of January. We're currently testing this downtrend and this uptrend down here on the hourly chart. What that basically tells us is that if ETH is able to rally up to $3,000, maybe $3,100, we're going to see a lot of shorts getting liquidated over on ETH from the margin traders over on Ethereum, and then we could see a pretty major rally. Now on the hourly chart, we have a bullish buy signal on Lux Algo. That's great. Looking out to the 4-hourly chart, I'm pretty sure we do as well. Yes, we just saw a strong, not a normal, a strong buy signal come in. That's a great sign. Out on 6-hour chart, I believe we've stayed in a buy signal. Yes, we have. Out on 8-hour chart, I'm pretty sure we've stayed in a buy signal as well. We've been in one for a while. Yes, we have. 12-hourly chart, I believe, is the exact same thing. Yes, we have. In fact, we just changed the candlestick color from purple to green. That indicates that this buy signal just turned into a strong buy signal. Out on the daily chart right now, we have seen a confirmed buy signal come into Ethereum if this day closes like this. This will be the first confirmed buy signal that we have seen on Ethereum because this one was not confirmed. Trendcatcher did not turn green. This will be the first confirmed buy signal on Lux Algo that we have seen since October the 13th. Right now, on Ethereum, we have green trend catcher, as you can see. We have green Lux Oscillator, as you can see right down here. And we also have a buy signal showing up on Ethereum. Now, here's what needs to happen. Remember, we talked about these if-then statements. If Ethereum breaks this downtrend, if Ethereum has a bullish MACD cross, if Ethereum gets above 3K, if Ethereum does X, Y, and Z, then it'll go back to all-time high in the next 3 to 6 months. What I need to see is I need to see this buy signal confirm. That is going to happen once the daily chart candlestick closes. It has not closed yet, so don't jump the gun. This buy signal could disappear. That buy signal is very tentative. We're not married to that buy signal. It has not happened yet. However, if that buy signal does confirm by the candlestick closing, the daily chart closing, that's going to be a good sign. What I'm going to then want to see is 7 to 10 days of continued uptrend. I'm going to want to see Ethereum break $3,000, which is a level right here. Let's go ahead and draw that line right there. I want to see Ethereum break $3,062. Then I want to see it break $3,400, which is up here. If I start seeing Ethereum break $3,400, then I'm going to say, okay, yeah, we're looking pretty solid, and we're probably also seeing a major rally on Bitcoin. All of that would give me confidence that we may be in play for a much longer term uptrend. Tim, what are you looking for to get confirmation of a rally over on ETH?
On ETH?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I haven't done as much on ETH as I do on Bitcoin and some others, but let me look real quick. It's going to probably be a pretty similar thing. What I want to see, honestly, to negate the fact that this is just a fake out, is probably a confirmation over 32. I think 3,200 is going to be the mark we're looking for, and it's got a little ways to go. If we can close above that with confirmation, the volume continues and the price closes above that. We're seeing candles close on the 4-hourly, then we see it close on the daily. Then I might say on Ethereum, hey, maybe we got over that little lip, maybe we got over that edge. But that former level of resistance that sent us down to the low 2000s is right there, sitting at 32.5 or so. I want to see us close above it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And
the thing is, otherwise, we're going to set up bearish RSI divergence, which sends us back down.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I'd like to say something about that as well for everybody, because we're really like, I use Market Cypher a ton for the last year and a half. And ever since I've been, joined with this team, I've become a lot more adept at using Lux Algo, but I still am a pattern trader and support and resistances. And my point being here, even for people that click on the link below and get, whether it be Market Cypher or Lux Algo, whatever indicators you use, those are going to give you one piece of the puzzle. Now with Lux Algo, you're getting a lot of different pieces in that one indicator. But even right now where you're getting buy signals flashing, but we're meeting up on pattern resistance or major support and resistance levels, just because you got the buy signal, you still need the other parts of the puzzle. If we're also seeing, separate from Lux Algo, major trend line resistances that we're battling against, and multiple of them, as in this case, you not only do you want that buy signal, but then you want the TA buy signal too, which, just as Tim just pointed out, wait till you break through that resistance and come back and retest it, or break through it with such strong confidence, retest isn't going to happen. So you want all the pieces to agree with each other before you make those big moves.
Absolutely. Guys, we are in a horse race right now, Tim.
Dude, it is stupid
close. It is
close.
so close, dude.
You're actually winning right now. What time is it?
It's
we had 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we said 10:45, not 10:30.
I know.
What is your prediction again?
39.3.
Oh, it's 39. I thought it was 39.6. I am in the lead.
No.
Wait,
the
it's
number for you to win is 39.649, I believe.
It's 39.659 right now.
So literally, it is.
This is close.
This is, last week was tight between Smay and I.
No, this is close.
This is tighter.
This is close.
This is ridiculous.
Guys, go buy Bitcoin. I want to win the HODL trophy. Let's go. By the way, for everybody who hasn't tuned in here, what we do is every Tuesday, we predict what the price of Bitcoin is going to be at 10:45 on Friday of that week. And I predicted earlier this week on Tuesday that Bitcoin would be trading at $39,999.99. And Tim predicted 39.3.
39.3.
39.3.
Yeah.
So we're going to see who wins. I'm really looking forward to seeing who wins. That's going to be pretty cool. Right now, you're in the lead.
We have more super chats to get
Yeah, let's read them.
Yeah, we got one from Kobe Morris saying, I would totally watch a Smay rant session. I would too.
I watch that every day. It's great.
I know. We just don't get to record it all the time.
Yeah, we just don't get to record it.
Eric Leon said a Bitcoin dump would be delicious. Can't wait to kiss Link.
Yeah, well, speaking of Link, we're actually going to look at Link here in a second. We're going to look at Link and ADA, and we'll look at HBAR on Monday if we have time, because I want to make sure we're able to run through all of these super chats and everything, and keep our eye on Bitcoin.
There was ones that just came. I want to make sure I got it. I think that our person who, I think Taylor had to walk away because she had a meeting, so I'm going to read this one so I don't miss it. Rick4962 said, Bitcoin is following the Wyckoff chart, don't you think? Also, thank you for all of your help and info.
Tim's a Wyckoff guy,
yeah,
so what do you think?
So it was at one point. As far as now, I don't think as much. And I'll do more in-depth looking at that. But no, the trading channel is moving up. If we were in a Wyckoff accumulation phase, we're definitely not in a distribution phase. If we were in an accumulation phase, we'd be moving sideways. This channel has definitely moved to the upside. I'll dig to see if I'm wrong. It very well could be wrong, but I have not seen Wyckoff teach about the accumulation phase moving up. If anything, it normally moves sideways and slightly to the downside, prepping for that spring.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, just an update on the liquidations, guys. We're looking at $50 million worth of liquidations in the last 38 minutes over on Bitcoin. Right now, Tim is in the lead, and right now that buy signal over on Bitcoin has disappeared. We're going to see how that takes place. I would very much love to see Bitcoin rally up there so that I can win the HODL trophy. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at Link, and we're going to look at ADA. I'm going to run through these very quickly because a lot of things are not happening on them right now because all the attention is over on Bitcoin. But we did say we'd go through some of these, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Right now, over on Link, Link is in a very interesting position, sitting at $16.76. If you don't know what Chainlink is, it's an Oracle protocol that helps to bring off-chain data on-chain. It's a very useful cryptocurrency. It's actually a cryptocurrency that I hold. I am #LinkMarines. Let me see the #LinkMarines represent in chat. I think it's a phenomenal project, and I do think it's worth every penny and more. Right now, we have seen that there is a sell signal in play. That buy signal came in, then we saw the sell signal. So it's currently sitting down here in a bear flag, as you can see right there. And that bear flag actually gives it a price target that, to be clear, I don't think is going to happen because it can't happen, but it does technically give it a price target of 80 cents. So I don't think that's going to happen, but theoretically it is in a bearish downtrend. We do have lower highs that have come into play right here. You can see them showing up right there, and lower lows as well. Link is in a very good position to be buying, in my opinion. It is down from all-time high 70%. If you believe in Link, I think right now is not a bad time to be dollar cost averaging into it. These are some really, really low prices, guys, and it's also sitting on previous levels of support, such as about $14 that we pulled back down to back in May, June, and July. I honestly do think that it will hold these levels. I do think that it'll bounce. So I'm thinking about picking up some Link on this dip. We'll see what happens, but I would not be against that. In fact, looking at Link over BTC, I can almost guarantee you that it is down over BTC, so I wouldn't mind selling some of my Bitcoin and then buying some Link and positioning myself in some Chainlink. I think it's a great project. But moving on here, we're also going to take a look at ADA. ADA is currently sitting at $1.07. Charles Hoskinson has been continuing to help push IOHK to develop Cardano. In my opinion, I've told you guys this many times before, it is the single best, most powerful blockchain in the entire cryptocurrency space, has the most development going on. All of the things that are built on it are peer-reviewed, go through rigorous scientific processes, and I'm very impressed by what the Cardano ecosystem is doing. I'm impressed by the thousands of people working on it, by the fact that it is so decentralized, but there's also governance built into it so that the community can govern what kind of updates roll out to it. It's just gone through some updates, just had a block size increase from 72 kilobytes to 80 kilobytes. We've also seen some changes on the Plutus backend with how much transaction throughput that can handle. I think we just went from 12.5 million to 14 million. So there's a lot of updates going on Cardano right now. In fact, we're thinking about making a roadmap video for Cardano and some other altcoins here in the next couple of weeks, talking about where these projects are going. A lot of great things in the pipeline for Cardano over the rest of this year. And remember, guys, price is downstream of the fundamentals. The fundamentals of Cardano were nowhere near as developed back here in May of 2021, and we still went to $2.50. The fundamentals are significantly stronger right now than they ever have been. The community is significantly stronger right now than Cardano ever has been, and it's sitting at $1. You know what that tells me? That tells me we're oversold, and that these are great levels to be scooping up some ADA. If I had more cash on the side and I hadn't already bought so much crypto, I would be looking at buying more Cardano right now, and I may position myself out of Bitcoin back into ADA. Really quickly, I'm going to jump back over to Bitcoin. The price that is going to determine who's going to win the HODL trophy.
It's right there.
It's $39,649. It is on the number.
Like right now, it's a draw. Like,
yeah, it literally was $39,649 for a second there.
If it's 36,495, that's the exact middle point. It's a draw.
Here's the problem though, Tim. We're in a bull flag, and the question is that bull flag going to break to the upside in the next 3 minutes so that I can win the HODL trophy?
Or are people going to take profits?
But wait a second, Tim. What happens if we have to look at this exactly the moment that 1045
the exact moment. So we
have to look at it
We
exactly.
agree right now. What chart is the deciding chart?
That's a good point. Coinbase.
Coinbase? All right, fair.
Coinbase.
Fair.
Yes, we're going to look at Coinbase. Okay, in 3 minutes, let's read some super chats and we will watch this live. I think this might be the closest. No, Bitcoin's dropping. Go up.
I told you.
I think this might be the closest we've ever been.
You want me to just leave the chart up then?
Yeah, you can just leave the chart up. I'll pull the chat up on my phone.
All right, so here's one. And I know, so I'm actually been texting Kelly about this. Kelly's really excited to answer this question. Chris Hazuga said TA on Bitcoin 1 month chart, ascending channel, impulse 1 to 5 Elliott wave, wave 5 about to start, ABC correction confirmed, wave 5 all-time high, creates W pattern, 113,000 target. So I'm assuming that means $113,000 target. What are your thoughts? And again, Kelly said he has a response to this one.
Kelly, go for it.
So I'm gonna have to take over the screen for just a moment.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
is actually from somebody that was in our Twitter Spaces last night who did a whole breakdown on the Elliott waves. And this is he gives two breakdowns, both the bearish and the bullish. So you can go and find him at Crypto Valerio on Twitter. But this is his bearish breakdown for anybody who's looking right now and they don't want to go to Twitter. You can take a screenshot of that. And it shows basically, even right now, if we come back up with the bearish outlook, we still have quite a bit ways to go that we could come down. But on the bullish look, here, this would be we're basically ending wave 4 right now, and we'd be going into wave 5. And I think that's what you're referring to, Chris. So we definitely have, obviously, just like with any sort of TA and any sort of structure you're using, whether it's Elliott waves, Lux Algo, market cipher, there's always going to be a bearish and a bullish option about what path can take. So it's good to be aware of these two different price paths that it could take based in this case on the Elliott wave theory. So definitely go and follow him. He's got a lot of great content. And I hope that answers your question.
Well, good timing. Let's jump onto my screen. T minus like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, what are you doing?
Come on, Bitcoin.
Who is selling their Bitcoin right now?
No, hold on.
Look at this.
Dump.
No.
Well,
No.
you're not even close.
Yes.
It's so close.
You're not even close.
No, it's so close. Come on. Okay, I have my screen. I don't think you can see it.
Guys,
There are
I need a
35 seconds left.
gigantic whale to just like dump everything right now.
Come on, Bitcoin. Yes, it's a green candlestick. Come on.
No, it's falling.
No.
go.
25 seconds.
Here we go.
This is stupid.
Here we go.
This is stupid.
Go down. Go to my camera.
this is a
Go to
pretty
my
good
camera.
horse
Here we
race.
go.
This is stupid. No. 15 seconds.
The race is on.
Hand in the corner. This. Come
on now.
Okay, 10 seconds. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on, Bitcoin. Coming around the final corner. Then it's going to go ahead and it's going to go ahead and pass Tim. It's going to pass Tim. It's going to pass
ain't
Tim. And then
gonna
we're going to
make
see the bets. 3 seconds.
2, 1.
No.
And that is 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. I'm on a streak.
I was 3 minutes away from winning.
I am on
is
a
stupid.
streak.
That was dumb. If it had won 5 minutes ago, I would have won. I think that might have been the closest race that we've ever had in the history of Bitcoin. In the history of the HODL trophy.
That was down to the.
That was down to
I would say it's down to the 30-second mark.
That was down to the 30-second mark.
Yeah, that is.
Watch it rally now.
I know. Give it to the end because we have probably.
Wait a minute. We need to go back really quickly because I'm pretty sure we said 10:30, and at 10:30.
No,
we said 10:45.
I'm joking.
Trying to steal it from me?
Yes, I am.
Gosh.
You just stole it from me. What do you mean I'm trying to steal it from you?
All right. We got some more super chats that just came in, and we have some that I want to make sure I don't miss any. But let's see, I got that one. Call Crypto Dude. Cali Crypto. Sorry, there's an I sneaking in there. Cali Crypto Dude said thoughts on Atlas USV. They're about to release NFT.
I have no idea.
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
Let's see here.
Who's dumped the price, by the way? I know there's a whale watching this video, and he thought it'd be funny to go and sell $100 million on exchange.
Desert Crypto ETH.
I'm joking, of course.
Is that dessert? Which one has 2 S's?
Dessert has 2 S's.
Strawberry shortcake is
I've
dessert.
been wrong. I typed something the other day, and I meant dessert, like the treats, and I definitely used 1 S. So Desert Crypto ETH said Tim's right about the job reports. They just adjusted December and November to the upside. Very convenient right before the Fed rate hike.
That's my point. Don't listen to the government about the economy doing well because the government wants the economy to look like it's doing well even when it's not because that's how they get reelected. And by the way, a lot of people are talking about the Fed. I understand the Fed is not actually a government institution. It's kind of a weird hybrid between government and private. It's a very strange way that that's set up. Just wanted to address that too.
Yeah. Let me see here. We got a lot of Tim congratulations,
Yeah, freaking Tim.
Love it.
Freaking
Love it.
Tim.
But, I really want to we've done it before. We've told people to predict with us, but we got to figure out a way to make it so people can choose their horse on Tuesday. And figure that out.
I do gotta say though, in the reality of the situation, I think Jebb is the true winner of the HODL trophy in reality, because how long have you been hodling and not selling your Bitcoin, Mr. Jebb?
Over 4 years.
Have you ever sold for other than for a very small purchase here and there?
Nah,
Like
so
a new car?
I've sold like 5% of the crypto that I own, just a little bit. Not much, just a tiny bit. I think I've sold out of crypto twice, and it wasn't even that much. It was a very small
So then
amount.
your bank account is the HODL trophy.
Yes, my bank account is the HODL trophy. I have the trophy of an amazingly awesome portfolio because I have HODLed, and that's kind of the point we want to make with the HODL trophy. That's why it's called the HODL trophy, is because we want to encourage you to HODL.
Yeah.
So hold on for dear life, my friends, even when Bitcoin is down.
Yes. Let's see. Yeah, no, someone's already predicting a Tim three-peat next week. I like you, Dennis. I like you.
Watch me get a three-peat.
Hey, I'll be in office. I'll be in Florida
That's
on
true.
Sunday. So
If I win next week, I won't be here to collect.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can predict, because I'll be here Tuesday, but I am leaving next Thursday to go to Maine. I will definitely still be checking in with chat and making sure. There's still some stuff I got to get done while I'm up there. But I'm going to get to go snowboarding, so that's going to be fun.
Lame. You've gotten to go snowboarding so many times this season. I haven't gotten to go once. I'm really salty.
What do you mean so many times? I've only gone once. This will be the second.
Yes, I know.
And I got sick when I went up there. I literally
Maybe you'll
snowboarded for
actually be
half
able
a
to
day.
snowboard.
That doesn't even like I got sick.
Maybe you'll be actually. able to actually snowboard.
Last time I went to Colorado, you got sick.
Yeah.
I got whatever you got because
Yeah.
I got like 10 months later.
Yep.
You know. So
Is that how that works?
I don't.
I wasn't
probably.
even sick. I had altitude sickness is what happened. That's a whole crazy story for another time. Tim and I went snowboard. It was bad, man. That poor bus driver. I'm just
He
saying.
threw up on the
I threw
bus.
up on the bus. Oof. I was like, Tim, tell the bus. It was only me, Tim, and the bus driver on the bus. And I'm like, Tim, tell the bus driver to pull the bus over. I'm gonna vomit. He's like, Jebb, I don't think they're gonna do that. I'm like, Tim, I think he's gonna want.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was pretty bad.
It was rough.
Guys,
All right,
thank
well.
you so much for watching this stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure you tune in 9:30 Eastern every single weekday for all of our antics, our technical analysis, our on-chain and our fundamental analysis, and all the fun that we have together. We're one big happy family. And let me tell you what we stand for really quickly before we wrap it out. We stand for humility, we stand for integrity. Those are two of our core values that we attempt to live out every single day. We also stand for financial sovereignty. What is that? Well, financial sovereignty is you and my's ability to be able to have control over not only our finances, but also over the financial instruments that we use. I want you to have full control over your bank account. I want you to have full control over your finances. I want you to have full control over whether or not your currency is being inflated. I want you to have full control over whether or not you're able to pay for medical bills when they come up, and you're able to afford a home for you and your family. You're able to put food on the table. That's what we stand for. Financial sovereignty is different than financial freedom, because financial freedom has come to mean buying a new Lamborghini or a Corvette or buying a fancy house or a yacht, or taking a trip to space on a Blue Origin rocket. Financial sovereignty means having control over your finances rather than your finances having control over you. That's what we stand for. Every single piece of content that we create, we ask ourselves the question, does this content help somebody to achieve financial sovereignty? Because I personally believe having financial sovereignty is one of the keys to living a purpose-driven life, and that's our mission statement. I want you to walk out your God-given purpose, because that's where you're going to find true joy and fulfillment. Having your finances in order is going to be a way that you're able to do that. That's what we stand for. That is the core of every single thing we do at this channel, and we try to do it every single day with humility and integrity, teaching you not what to think, but how to think, bring you high quality educational and informational content and coverage of the cryptocurrency markets. If that's something you can get behind, smash that subscribe button, and also make sure to check out all of our sponsors linked in the description box down below. Today's show was brought to you by LuxAlgo. Signing up with coupon code Jebb, J-E-B-B, for 20% off at checkout will not only get you access to my favorite technical indicator, I mean that, but also it's going to help to support this channel so we can keep the lights on and keep bringing you this show every single day. That's all I got for today. Are there anything final that we need to cover that I've forgotten?
Well, so what I'm going to have him do, Siobhan Goli said that he didn't get his super chat read. I somehow moved through the cracks. We're not going to be able to answer that today, Siobhan, but email support@cryptojebb.com, and I'll tell you what, that'll be the first question we read on Monday.
Boom. There you go. Well, guys, that's all I got for you today. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good